Our brother in Islam, Andrew Tate, he was right.
There's many Muslims out there that have a job, they say that their wife is a single mother to get more benefits and they're still earning their job.
The lion will never eat an animal that's already dead or been killed by another animal. The lion has to hunt its own prey.
I always found something else to do, and I believe without a shadow of a doubt, there is always something you can do.
Remember, one of the greatest indicators of what your wealth is going to be in the future, a place where you're raised.
I see so many brothers and wallahi, it breaks my heart. They don't have that fire.
You come from a lineage of people, they were triers. And now you're going to be the one to let them down?
She's a woman, she's a widow, she's got children. She has a little shop where she sells the type of things that you probably wouldn't even want to go buy. They got money together, but they went and gave it to her. But she said, I'm not going to take it, but buy from me.
Wow.
How do we fix this mindset?
For 10 years, I've held back sharing my true self with you guys. It's now that I've realized that that wasn't something that was good to do. But now I've decided to open up a lot more and share with you my real life, raw experiences. I'm going to be sharing insights with you with regards to my marriage, with regards to my businesses, my seeking knowledge, my friendships, my ups and downs, smiles and frowns, the betrayals that I've seen, what life in Dubai is like. I have just one request from you. If this is something that you'd like to see more of, click the subscribe button. The way that we will measure whether this is something that you guys want and are benefiting from is if that subscribe button is clicked and those numbers go up. If not, then we know that you guys want something else and we'll redirect and change course. So click that subscribe button. With that said, let's get back into the podcast and hopefully you guys are going to get some value, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to Chai with my Bhai, where we help you excel in your deen and your dunya. Today's podcast, we're doing it for 3 reasons. Number 1, a chat that we recently saw that happened in one of the groups that we're in related to social housing. Number 2, some of the comments you guys were dropping on our Don't Let Your Wife Work podcast, where you guys were saying, oh, these guys are saying, don't let your wife work and sit there and take benefits instead. And number 3...
Say, when have they said that?
A lot of people saying that. Number 3 is because of a conversation that my wife had with me that one of her friends who's unmarried is trying to get married on Sunnah Match. Apparently a lot of the brothers on Sunnah Match are boasting about social housing and taking benefits and so on and so forth.
May or may not be verified information. Please.
So,
One second, that's getting cut.
Stop making man's business look bad, bro.
So-
Listen, the brothers, high quality. Okay?
so with that said, let's get into the podcast. First of all, is there a
That
problem?
was my man doing it.
That's true.
I don't care if it's
just
true, bro.
because it's true
It's on
doesn't
all of
mean
them
we have to
then.
promote it.
Bro, I'm just saying, there's a problem. We need to come up with a solution instead of cutting it out. So, first of all, is there anything wrong with a brother? Look, at the end of the day, it's cheaper. You're getting it. It's got
First, can you
longevity.
describe it? I'm sorry. I think that social housing or like benefit system, social welfare, that's what they call it, right?
Welfare, social.
Is not like, it's not ubiquitous everywhere. And it's not the same everywhere either. So I guess
That's true.
You should describe what scenario you're talking about first.
I'm talking about when you apply for a house from the local council. Every council obviously will have their own eligibility criteria, but generally speaking, it's for low-income households, people in need, who are unable to afford regular housing for whatever particular reason. Once you get it, you're paying either subsidized rent or sometimes they give you, like, they cover the whole thing. You're basically in free housing. Okay. Along with other benefits like universal credit and whatever else it might be. You're there for pretty much life. Like once you're in, you're in. Yeah.
It's usually very difficult for a landlord to evict a council tenant.
Yes.
And also the other way around as well. Once you get like a good enough deal, if you live in zone 3, so there's huge upsides. There's huge upsides, right? Or rather on paper upsides, which is you basically get a long-term fixed housing for very, very cheap or free even. And you also sometimes even get money from the government.
Yeah, there's universal credit, this whatnot. So look, here's my take on it.
It'll make your life more comfortable.
Wallahu a'lam, here's my take on the situation,
By the way, sorry, this is in the context of a global cost of living crisis.
Yeah. Okay, hear me.
Skyrocketing prices, inflation, money's going up, wages are going down.
One thing we have to accept, couple things, and I would like to ask a couple questions, and I'd like the audience to comment yes or comment no in the comments below. Or if you really don't want to comment, you can just nod your head or don't nod your head, right? If you're really lazy, you can just click like or dislike. I don't really care. But number 1, did the Prophet ﷺ not say that Allah Azza wa Jalla, He loves the highest of affairs and He just likes the lowly matters? So Allah Azza wa Jalla loves lofty things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves things that are higher, right? Not things that are low. Yes or no? Okay, cool. Second thing is it not mentioned in our deen that the one who gives is better than the one who takes? The hand above is better than the hand below. Better than the hand
Yeah.
below, right? We have many examples of the Sahaba, of the Salaf, not taking anything, right? Not taking anything, even to the point where if one of them was on their horse and their stick fell on the floor, they would not ask someone, could you just please pass my stick back up to me? They would get off and pick it up themselves, because they knew that in asking someone else, there is what? It has a type of what? Type of deficiency in it. Has a type of someone else has got something on you. So is that not the case? That the hand that gives better than the hand that receives? Okay, if we have these two things in mind, then I'm going to now ask you another question. Is welfare, and I ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to protect us and to not make us people that are in any way, shape, or form arrogant, or to protect us from arrogance or self-conceit, or to pretend in any way, shape, or form like anything that we've achieved is due to our own efforts, from the mercy and tawfiq of Allah Azza wa Jal and His blessing and His virtue. So I'm not trying to place myself above anyone here in any way, shape, or form, but I just want to call a spade, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me here, is that the one who's receiving welfare, is that not a charity case? Like, is that not charity at the end of the day? Now, I'm not...
From the government.
From the government, right? As in it,
essentially, the other people that pay taxes are paying for that welfare.
Right. So, now, here's the thing. I'm not saying we shouldn't have charitable causes to help those in need.
Not even in Islam, there's zakat.
Zakat, right?
Yeah, which is for those that are in need.
For those that are in need. But here's the thing. Do you aspire to just get the zakat at the end of the year or at a certain time in the year to get your money so you can get by and live like that and be happy with that being your circumstance? Or do you say, let me get out of this circumstance to do something better? Yes, we will help with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah will help and perhaps use us as a means to help those who are in need. That's not what the problem is. The problem is not that there shouldn't be social housing for those that have disabilities, or single mothers who have been divorced and caught up in circumstances where they now have no one to support them with the economic crisis and the price of living going so high. And all of these, I get you. I really get you. I'm not saying that there are not people who are deserving of this type of aid and support being sent their way. The problem is, are you comfortable? Are you satisfied? Are you aspiring?
That's what describe the avatar.
Especially
as in which type of person we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about an able-bodied,
you're a young man,
sound of mind,
you're a young man,
Muslim man.
But I'm saying even he may be in need today.
Who's able to?
No, good. But I'm happy you mentioned that.
But why is it? Because here's the thing, and this is the sad thing, that there's actually studies to show, and obviously, like I said, this is from a data perspective, not from a knowledge of the unseen and the tawfiq of Allah and perspective, because only Allah will tell you who actually is going to receive how much money and who's going to receive what risk. But they say the strongest indicator of the type of wealth a person will acquire in his lifetime is the postcode where he lives, or the zip code where he lives, and that's nuts. So you find people that grew up in social housing, right? For them, they understood the pattern and they saw, okay, cool. If I just do X, Y, Z, I'll get a house.
Yep.
Right. Get married young, got a kid, I can get a house now. I can get some type of benefit. Now, I know certain people that might be in that circumstance, but they're working, they're grinding on the side to get out of that situation. Okay? They've been given an opportunity because they don't want to be on the streets with their family, which obviously is going to be absurd. No one's going to want that. But they are not satisfied with the fact that they get sent this paycheck. Right? So they are working and grinding hard to get themselves outside of that circumstance.
So definitely there's a distinguishing between someone who is getting benefits or social housing or whatever else it might be and is happy, content with this is ambition, I'm set for life now. That's the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And then definitely there's a difference between someone who's in there and they're trying to get out. But my thing is, I'll be honest with you, I personally don't believe there's ever a situation where a Muslim man who has sound mind, is able-bodied, should ever need to go down that road in the first place.
I kind of disagree with you. I kind of disagree with you in the sense where, because we spoke about this before, and you mentioned there's not a circumstance except that I'll find some type of job, some type of work to do, right?
And this is, can I just give the context to this? I grew up in social housing.
Yeah.
My parents split up, got divorced when I was 3 years old. Me and my mum lived in a shared accommodation in Tottenham for I don't know how many months, where we had a room. We used to share the bathroom, share the kitchen with like other people living in the same house, share the garden. I was very young. Then we moved into, we got 1-bedroom house in Chingford, again, council in some old people's area. There was like no ball game signs. Like it was like, you know, there's old people everywhere. Lived there for like 10 years. Lived in 10 years. Lived there for 10 years. My bedroom was in the living room. I didn't have a bedroom until I was in year 10. My mum got remarried in that time. My stepdad moved in. So it was 2 in the bedroom and me in the living room. Then they had my 2 sisters. There was 4 people in the bedroom, 1 person in the living room. Bro, wallahi, times I would wake up. There were guests in the living room. There's an auntie perched on the end of my bed.
I'm sorry, I can relate so strongly. That's why I'm laughing at you. Sorry.
Man's got morning breath. Man's just woken up and I'm just, I'm actually pretending that I'm still asleep just to avoid the embarrassment of having to get up and walk through. I used to call it the walk of shame. I used to have to do the walk of shame, bro. And alhamdulillah, after that, they gave us an even bigger place. But me personally, I said to myself, and even stuff like pocket money, like it used to be difficult to get pocket money in school. Like I remember other people used to have it, this, that, whatnot. Like I remember in the summer holidays or even other holidays when there wasn't school, like I would have to go to like a day, like a creche, daycare thing. Yeah. You go, there's other kids there, you play. Mum had to go work. That was the pattern. Everyone else was going out on holiday, doing this, that, blah. Mum had to go work. So I've come from that background and I've been there. You get it. So for me, I came out with that mindset of this is never going to be me. Like I will never do this, no matter what happens. But I remember as soon as I left school, I said, okay, this pocket money thing is peak. Like, I need money. Yeah. I got a job in a chicken shop, working 40 hours a week, getting paid £60 an hour in a hot, stuffy chicken shop.
£6 an hour.
£60 a week.
Oh, you said £6
40 hours.
I was going to say, damn.
No, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
£1.50 an hour.
Yeah.
And bro, there's some
wages.
illegal Pakistani student going, they're not getting paid much more. Yeah. And they're working 7 days a week. My man lives above the shop, you understand? Bro, I'm living there, I'm grinding. As soon as got into college, got a job working Domino's. Like, brothers, man, I'm delivering pizzas. But I said to myself, bro, I'm gonna earn my money. I don't want to have to get a hand even from my own mum, let alone the government or whatever else it might be. During college, I had an accident, mum said no, whatnot, found a job in a call center. I'm going to college, leaving, I'm going to work this job in a call center, doing market research surveys, 5 days a week. Anytime I got a holiday, I was working. I said to myself, bro, they will never come. And even look, through life, alhamdulillah, you know, got kicked out of my mom's place, moved in with my dad, was living there with him for a while, started practicing, alhamdulillah, in that journey. They got married, still living at my dad's place, wanted to get our own place. I could have said to myself, cool, let's apply for the council. No, I said, bro, I'm going to get another job. I got another job alongside the job that I currently had. When we wanted to move to a different place, I said to you, I want to increase my hours, increase my wage. Whatever it was, I always found something else to do. And I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, there is always something you can do. But I believe it's a mindset thing, because I know brothers, for example, they're taking job seekers allowance. And if you ask them, Akhi, why don't you take a minimum wage job? You can find, wallahi, you can find a job. Wallahi, you can find a job, a minimum wage job. Well, why don't you do it? Oh, Akhi, the paid for that is the same as what I'm getting unemployment. So the same money, either I work or I don't work. Why would I work?
No, but what if he's getting job seekers allowance, but he's working on some type of a business or some type of education skill on the same side? So that minimum wage job will be taking up time, which now he's able to invest in what?
Yeah, but if he's spending that time grinding, but most of them are not, they're playing video games.
You're right. No, I agree with you.
Playing video games.
You're right. I agree with
you. Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
They're wasting time.
That sounds like a plan. Like you're actually trying
and also, by the way, so once your business starts popping, you need to get offered those benefits. This is another issue, by the way, what a lot of brothers do. Because the thing is,
I did job seekers allowance for 1 week. I went there. This is back when I was like 19. I did 1 week, and I actually needed the money them times. I just said, I can't come back. This is not worth it, bruv.
Well, like, there's always something you can do.
It's very depressing. Well, like,
there's always something you can do. There's online jobs, but people just don't want to put in the graft, and you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Look, because here's the thing, right?
Pardon the interruption, but in case you ever wanted to move to Dubai, I've got something very special for you. As you may be aware, myself and Abu Bakr moved to Dubai and Sharjah last year. It was one of the best decisions that we ever made for our deen, our families, and our businesses. Living here is amazing. You've got a masjid in almost every single street, unparalleled safety and security. You've got lessons from mashayikh and different teachers and students of knowledge in English and Arabic, and no income tax. Now, how do you move here? That's a question that you might be asking. Well, it can be tough if you don't know your way around things. Sometimes the companies that help you get visas here, they got hidden fees, long waits, big problems, resulting in visa rejections, a lot of wasted money and time. This is where Ansar Consultants comes into play. They helped us set up everything. No hidden fees, no long waits. They kept it simple and honest. I got my visa in less than a month. And these guys have a 100% track record helping brothers get their visa so far. 100% track record, that's insane. Allah Mabarak. Now, if you're thinking of moving to the UAE, I recommend Ansar Consultants. They can even help you invest in properties here with a 100% Sharia compliant contract. So if you want a smooth move like we did, click the link below and check out Ansar Consultants. Now, back to the podcast.
When you commit to these benefits, usually in 99.9% of cases, it's because of a particular income.
Yeah.
But
So
I would
you're
like to comment on
either
that.
committing,
Yeah.
you're either committing to being under that threshold for the foreseeable future, and that's terrible. Or when you do go above it, you're going to lie, which many people do. Let's be honest. There's many Muslims out there that have a job. They say that that their wife is a single mother to get more benefits, and they're still earning their job, and they've got a house there and this and that one. That's even worse, because there's people that actually need it. There are single moms that actually need it. There are families that actually need it. Yeah. And you, as a young brother, you're getting it.
On a municipal level, they won't give it to them.
Exactly. I'm saying, look, like me, when I wanted to move out my dad's place, but I couldn't afford to live in East London where all my family was living, where all my friends were living. I had to move to Slough. Yeah. Bro, it used to take me an hour and a half to get from Slough to East London. But I said to myself, bro, at the end of the day, for the type of apartment that I want, I'm not going to find that here. I have to move outside of London. Yeah. But honestly, people aren't willing to even open their minds to that.
Yeah. No, but I know why. So honestly, our brother in Islam, Andrew Tate, he was right. Wallahi, he was right. Okay, I'm going to tell you. He goes, there's 3 reasons why people are broke. There's only 3. Right? Have you heard this before?
No.
Okay, there's 3 reasons why people are broke. There's only 3, right? The first one is they're dumb, right? He was like, it's a small number of people. It's very, very, very small. It's like, we're talking about like they're mentally insane. Like they're, the pen is lifted. Those kind of people, right? Cool. Next people is they're lazy, right? Now, I believe this. No. I believe this number is bigger than what he was saying, but he still thinks it's a small minority. But the last one is he goes, people are arrogant. They're brutally arrogant people, right? And the reason's simple. Look, what you just said, right? Which is so a guy saying, I would rather line up for JSA instead of getting a job or like looking for some kind of other avenue or whatever. It's because that job is beneath me. You get it? It's beneath me and it's public. Whereas JSA is beneath me, but it's private. Nobody knows about it. Do you get it?
It's a type of welfare for the people who are not.
It's called job seekers allowance. As in literally, if you're if you're unemployed and you're looking for a job, the government gives you an allowance. But do you understand?
Yeah.
It's because instead of what you just said when you was like, you have to start from somewhere, right? Nobody wants to start from somewhere. They want to start from somewhere else.
Start from the top.
Yeah, they want to start from here, right? Nobody wants to start from here, right? This is beneath me. My mentality is like, I'm up here. I have to be here. I have to like manifest that before I start.
Do you know why that's deep? Is because the Prophet ﷺ actually mentioned that there's an extra punishment for the poor, arrogant person.
Yeah.
Because like...
You got nothing. You got no reason for it.
Like, a rich man...
If he's a king, yeah, like, if there's a king and he's an arrogant person, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. It's like the characteristic fits the avatar, right? But like if he's broke, you're broke. I'm not taking the mic. I'm just saying that if you look at your circumstances, you look at your situation, you have to accept the fact that hold on, it can't get much worse than this. The only way is up. If I just move, it's gonna go up.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Because your situation was mad.
Yeah.
You slept on kitchen floor.
Yeah.
For years.
Different circumstances.
Then you moved into
Boeing.
My family house.
Yeah, I moved into that house.
So you also went Boeing for a bit, right?
Yeah,
Boeing was a different.
There's a time we can cut that if you want afterwards. But
someone actually commented. I saw it this morning. They said, please, can you tell the Boeing story? I really love airplanes.
No, it's okay.
Airplanes, I want to learn.
The Boeing, honestly, we will not tell the whole story on the show. We will not.
But there was
maybe one
There
day.
was even a time he lived in my family house where he had to stay in the living room, and I
lived in Imran's dad's house in the living room,
and he would have to control his urge to use the washroom But sometimes, like, bro, 5-6 hours.
Yeah, I have to wait.
I feel bad
I have to wait.
6 days.
No, but 5-6 hours.
No, I just have to wait in it, like as in for clearance. You know, somebody else's house. I don't want to
But
disturb
5-6
anyone.
hours
whatever.
because no one, he doesn't know, he can't get in touch with someone in the house, whatnot. There's women in the house. Why didn't you get job seekers? Why didn't you take benefit?
Honestly, it's just so okay. I believe the JSA or the benefits route is static. It's sort of fixed. You're sort of like there's a ceiling to how high you can go here.
And it's a
You
vicious
can't.
cycle.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that as well. But I mean, as in once you've peaked out here, there's no more room for growth. I can't honestly maybe. You can't like get millions and millions of pounds out of the government.
Okay, now give me the real answer. What's the real answer? You couldn't bring yourself to.
Because I wanted to do other things. I wanted to be someone more like what's the word? More impactful. You understand? I couldn't bring myself to that.
But why couldn't you temporarily do it?
Honestly, I would rather have spent time doing other things.
What it is?
No, one second.
Go on.
Tell me the real reason.
That is the real reason. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying
What do
getting
you-
job
what do you
seekers on
think
the
is his
side.
real reason?
Getting job seekers when you didn't have when at a particular time we have nothing really happening.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you just go to get job seekers once every 2 weeks?
I don't know. It just feels like it wasn't. It wouldn't feel real. I don't know how to explain it. It's like
Go on.
I don't want to eat the dead animal. You understand?
Wow.
Like that. I would rather catch my own food. You get it?
So what Abbas is giving reference to right here is what some of the mashayikh and the ulama mentioned about the lion. So the lion will never eat from an animal that's already dead or been killed by another animal.
Yeah.
The lion has to hunt its own prey.
Yeah.
Not only that,
I would rather try and fail.
do you know the only animal do you know the only animals that eat from the one that's already dead? Scavengers,
Yeah,
vultures.
there you go. Yeah.
Even the
Oh, by the
eagle
way,
has
look-
to. Even the
the
eagle
way-
has to get its own prey. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So my question is, so really, what you're saying is, you had self-respect
Yeah.
and you like you held yourself in high esteem.
Yeah. No, as in, I would rather suffer and but I'd rather try and fail than succeed on a lower sort of.
But maybe
as in, like so it was like in school. Like you know, in school you could either do the higher exam or the foundation exam.
Yeah.
I would rather do the higher exam and get a C than do the foundation exam and get an A. That makes sense.
But my question is, why?
You get that, yeah?
Yeah, I get it.
Even though they're equivalent, they're
Right.
the same like
I get it.
mark.
I get it.
But one is an A and one is a C. I'd rather get the C on the higher test.
I get it. It's like saying I'd rather compete against top level athletes in a sprint and come third place than compete against fat
5-year-old
people
kids.
Yeah,
and
basically.
come third place,
Basically,
right?
yeah.
Okay, cool. My question to you is though, but why is your way of thinking better?
Honestly, okay, let's.
Because
if-
one might say the lion is just stressing himself out.
Yeah.
He's using calories that he doesn't need to. He's wasting time. The cubs, or the lioness, sorry,
Yeah.
the cubs are waiting.
Are you
food.
just rolling around? Oh,
Yeah.
Little something there. Let me grab
Do,
that.
do you
Yeah.
get me?
Little something there. Let me grab that.
But it's inefficient. Why is your way better? Are you arrogant?
Honestly, maybe I don't know.
I'm not
But-
saying you are, but I'm trying
No,
to explore it. Like this, I think we established very early it's a mindset issue.
Yeah, because look.
Yeah, so I really feel like it's a question of resiliency, or actually not even rather. I think they're all just. There's so many more positives that come out of trying and failing than winning by default. You understand? I can't even name them all. I don't. You're asking me the driving feeling or the driving factor. I don't know what that is, but I can tell you the outcomes. Like, as in the end, you'll be happier for it.
You know what, exactly. You touched on something that I think might just be one of the root cause. You use the word resilience.
Resilience.
Yeah.
Resilience, subhanallah al-azim, man. It is a characteristic that's lacking, bro. You know,
That's what I was going to mention.
Yeah. a lot of the time what you don't realize that it comes down to your self-story.
Yeah.
What you tell yourself about yourself.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Like imagine, like I was reading something in a book one time and it really blew my mind. It said, listen, if you're the type of person who when you're alone in the gym and no one's watching, won't train to failure and will reduce the intensity, then that has such damaging consequences on your own personal internal narrative. What you say to yourself about yourself,
Yeah.
you have no idea.
You're basically, I'm a quitter. Or
You're
I
basically-
will reduce it for myself.
Right. You're basically telling yourself that I have low standards for myself. What you're really saying is that I don't have it in me that when it gets tough to actually get going,
Yeah.
to actually...
You know, there's certain games I used to play when I was a kid, like COD. You could play, you play the story mode, and then if you press start, there's an option there that says reduce difficulty. Yeah, I never did that.
You never
I
did that?
never
huh?
did
Oh, I'm
that.
betting.
We're playing the game on veteran mode.
But that's what I'm saying. What people don't realize is that adversity, right, and intensity actually creates diamonds.
Yeah.
Creates gold. Like even Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Quran, He said, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. This ayah is one of the most impactful ayat in my personal life. Allah says, did the people think that just because they said we believe, we will not test them? And the word Allah used to describe test is fitna. وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Now the word fitna is a very beautiful word in the Arabic language. It refers to the process of purifying gold.
Okay.
Gold, when it comes out of the earth, it's not all nice and shiny and beautiful. It comes out in its original ore form, right?
Yeah.
And the way you purify the gold, make it shiny, is that you burn it.
Yeah.
The process of burning the gold is called fitna. And the fattan is the one who burns the gold. Now, after applying heat and after applying pressure onto the gold, you've burnt it. But at the end of all of that difficulty and that struggle and that heat, what's left is a shining piece of gold that people find so precious. People kill for it.
Yeah.
So like that, if in life Allah tests you and He puts you through difficulty and adversity, that is purifying you. It's purifying your conduct. It's purifying your creed. It's purifying your manners. It's purifying so much about you.
Yeah.
You understand? It's purifying so much about you. Yeah. So we are afraid. Like we are honestly, like not afraid, but it's like when you give in, when you like, you know what I do now when I get up in the morning. Recently, because I've been like, as in, obviously, this is not me promoting, not sleeping a lot, right? This is not me promoting like not sleeping a lot. Like you should sleep and make sure you get your right sleep in. But at the same time, I've got to get up Fajr and I've got to pray Salah in the masjid, and it has to happen. Whether I had a good night's sleep or not, this has to happen. Tomorrow, I'm going to have to just sleep early. But today, I'm going to have to go to the masjid. But sometimes it's hard because your kid's sick. You've been working. You yourself couldn't sleep for whatever reason. Right? Problems. Get up in the morning and I ask myself a question. I say, Imran, will you get up right now to go and pray Fajr? Like the will is a very interesting question.
Yeah.
Because will only has one or two answers. Yes or no. How can I say to myself, no?
I won't.
And if I find myself delaying the answer, I stick it on myself and I say, Imran, will you get up for the sake of Allah? Yeah, at that point, I have to get up now. I've asked myself, how can man ever in my life a day come and say, will I get up for the sake of Allah? And I say, no. So, it's what you tell yourself. Like even now when I'm in the gym now, and like there's a couple of times when my PT, he's watching me and he's on my case. A couple of times we're doing a superset, he's doing a set, he's not watching me. Sometimes I'm just long. But then I have to tell myself, is this what's going to happen? When there's no one around and I'm in trouble and I'm in need, I'm just going to give in. And that's what's going to happen to most people when their self-story is, when it gets hard, just relax, do you get me? And it's, No.
Finish your point.
I think we can all talk about this topic for a lot.
Yeah.
So please.
I was going to mention, as you said earlier, like I feel like, again, the disclaimer is there, is that those that are genuinely in need for you, it's your thing.
No, but one second, even then, don't let them get off just like that. Don't let them get off just like that. You're in need.
For a time.
But what's your attitude? Sorry, I'm going to tell you another story. My sheikh from Egypt told me this story. He said that, right now the economic crisis, some places really bad. Right, one of the countries that hit really bad was Egypt. Really bad was Egypt. So the sheikh mentioned that everyone, like in his area, like a lot of people suffering. They heard about one particular sister who's a widow, and she's got kids, and she's really struggling. She has a little shop where she sells some little things that, the type of things that you probably wouldn't even want to go buy, right? So they got money together. There's a woman, she's a widow, she's got children. They got money together, the men in the area. Despite them struggling themselves, they said, we're going to give it to her. When they went and gave it to her, she said, I'm not going to take it, but buy from me if you need. I'm not going to take it, but buy from me if you need.
Wow, that's very
Transact
impressive.
with me.
That's
Let me earn my
yeah,
woman.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not saying, sisters, go out there and earn and don't take care of your kids, blah, blah. But I'm just saying, you need to find a way. Like, okay, in a council housing, you're raising your kids because you don't have a man to potentially provide for his particular person. I get it. It's so hard. And I don't know what it's like to be in your shoes. But I need you to understand, sister, that you remaining in this environment means you're raising your kid on a block. Right? He's going to be around drug dealers. He's going to be around people that you don't want him to be around. He's going to grow up. Remember, one of the greatest indicators of what your wealth is going to be in the future, and only Allah really truly knows, but what they say is, what? The place where you're raised. Your zip code. Your postcode, right? So you have to be thinking, okay, I'm taking it, but I need to find a way out. Yeah. So the mindset is important. Sorry, bro.
Yes, no, essentially, it's the same thing. You know, like a lot of people in this day and age, they self-identify as, you know, themselves with all these types of illnesses and mental health problems and this and that, whatnot. Actually, bro, a lot of people just self-identify as a victim. Like I said, and it's this very mentality that will keep you.
I think you're right. You know,
that will keep you in this.
I don't think they'll admit that. Though.
I'm not good enough, and I can't lie. A lot of brothers that are watching this are going to be getting upset. They're going to be feeling some type of way. But this is a reality. And wallahi, like I said one more time, we're not coming from a place of we're better than you or that, you know, we're here and you're here. Wallahi, that's not the case. I swear by Allah, I could lose everything tomorrow. It's a reality. And there've been places, bro, in recent times, bro, in places I've been in peak situations. Just the year before last year, for a period of time, I was homeless, living in a hotel. Remember? In Hounslow. Like, I was homeless.
Very relatable. Sorry.
Yeah, I was homeless. And that's another thing, by the way. That's another thing, by the way. Because a lot of people say that the private market, it's bad. Landlords kick you out anytime. They can raise the price. I'm not going to sit here and say to you it's easy, bro. Yeah. In the last...
But you got a CCJ,
in the last 4 years,
but you got
I had a CCJ, a chemical judgment for an accident that happened when I was, for car accident that happened when I was like 17 years old. How many landlords did you meet, bro?
Bro,
there's so many landlords. In the last 4 years, I've had like 6 landlords in the last 4 years, right back and forth. East London, West London, alhamdulillah, in the UAE. And bro, like I said, it wasn't easy. It's not easy. That's the reality of life. But the point is, are you gonna, like, what's the word? You know, like when you sedate an animal to triangulate. You know, like when you go to these live zoos and there's a lion, you can touch it. Like the lion's sleepy because it's been drugged. Yeah. That's what you're doing to yourself when you're taking these benefits. You're essentially, it's like there's a fire that's supposed to be there in your belly and you're dampening it down. And the reason why I wanted to do this podcast is because, bro, I see so many brothers and wallahi, it breaks my heart. They don't have that fire. And it's like, bro, without that fire in your belly, how are you going to manage to do anything in life?
You want to make money, brother? Put money to the side. I know that doesn't really motivate you. You want to get closer to Allah. That's what we all want. But the reason I started with money is because sometimes money gets in the way of you getting closer to Allah. But what if there was a way for you to get closer to Allah and make money? Well, doesn't that sound a bit off, Imran? That sounds like immoral and wrong. But what if it wasn't? What if we actually had evidence from the Quran that there was a particular thing that you could do to get close to Allah and make money and not have to feel guilty about it? Well, then sign me up, brother Imran. Guys, what I'm talking about is setting up an Umrah company. Setting up an Umrah company is something that definitely gets you close to Allah because you're going to the Kaaba regularly, you're worshipping Allah in Mecca, Medina. Not only that, you're getting rewarded for taking people who are going to be changing their lives in Mecca, Medina, and you can make money from it. And you can make very good money. You can work your way up to multiple 6 figures in a year if you work hard enough. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you you're going to make 6 figures on your first trip. No, but you definitely can. We've got companies after 1 or 2 years already on 6-figure status. Alhamdulillah, we in our last year of our last 3 Umrah trips that we did made over 500,000 ourselves. Now, this is an opportunity that we're passing on to you guys, inshallah ta'ala. And like I said, Allah says in the Quran, لَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ أَن تَبْتَغُوا فَضْلًا مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. There is, when you go to Hajj, there's no harm upon you. Then when you go to Hajj, you also seek to make some type of profit. I asked some of the Mashaykh, does this also apply to Umrah? They said it does. You make sure you're not charging people for the Umrah itself, but what you're doing is you're charging them for the service that you're providing, all of the back-end stuff that you're doing to be able to take them. So look, if you're interested in a business like this, click the link below, inshallah ta'ala, and hopefully we can get it cracking. Assalamu alaikum, peace.
The point of the matter is, guys, is that victim mindset, it will remove that hunger in your belly. Without that hunger in your belly, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle in your marriage, you're going to struggle. Because even the same brothers are saying, bro, sisters don't want to marry me, I've got nothing to bring to the table, and this and that one. I'm seeing it in my own eyes. So many brothers have this.
I think that, you know what, okay.
It's like the analogy I gave in that group, right? Yeah. I said, look, you got 2 options, right? There's a swimming pool, right? Or you can say the sea or whatever. There's a body of water. There's a shallow end, there's a deep end. either you just stay in the shallow end where you're comfortable and safe and you just stay standing there floating, or you start trying to learn how to swim. The water is rising. The water is rising. If you start learning how to swim, by the time the water's so high where there is no more shallow end, you're going to know how to swim, you're going to be able to get away. Yeah. But if you just stayed stagnant thinking, I'm safe, it's a shallow end, I don't even need to swim. But the water's going to rise. And it's going to get to a point now where you can't just stand there. You're going to have to swim. But because you didn't start swimming when you had the option to swim, now you're drowning. And that's the reality, bro. We live in a cost of living crisis, there's fiat currency, there's inflation, things are, everything's going up. You need to start swimming today. Otherwise you're going to drown.
Yeah, because what you don't realize is that we were talking about in the car, right? Like things compound, right? Positively or negatively.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I just memorize a little bit of Quran every single day, my hifd will get better. And it happens, like, human beings are not wired to intuitively understand exponential growth.
Yeah.
You might be able to explain it a bit better than me. If you could just give people an idea, then I'll explain the point.
So the concept of exponential growth is that it grows the next time more than the previous time. I don't know how to explain it.
But the thing
it literally
is
goes like this.
Acceleration.
It goes like this.
Yeah.
This is the graph. It is, instead of going up like that, which is a straight line, it goes like this.
Yeah. So the point is you see crazy growth towards the end. So for example, if I give an example, if every day I double, let's say I have £2 and I double it every day for 30 days, at the end of 30 days, I'll have over 10 million.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, you don't see crazy numbers like in the mills until day 21, 22 or something like that after.
No, so you have 10 million. So that means day 29, you have 5 million.
You have 5 million.
And day 28, you have 2.5 million.
Do you understand?
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't see crazy numbers until the end. At the beginning, it's just like
it looks like actual pennies.
6,
8, right?
16,
so,
32,
so likewise, if over a 10-year timeline, I just work every day, bro, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11 is when I'm going to see crazy growth. But on the opposite also, if I don't work today, and I just take the lesser option, which as you just mentioned is already not looking like a pretty option. Do you understand? Well, what's going to happen is today I might just be pacifying myself because I'm managing to make ends meet. But year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11, as the global economy crisis is getting worse, as the price of living is getting higher, but the benefits are not meeting the rising costs and inflation is going up. Suddenly you're going to see, like for example, in some countries like Pakistan, like Egypt, where the price of tea quadruples. Sometimes it goes up by 10, 20 times. And you're like, bruv, man can't even afford a nappy for my kid no more because suddenly things have just got so dramatically worse. So you don't see that things exponentially get worse and better over time.
Yeah.
So
you have to choose.
Any bad habit. Like, look, the best example is health, right? If I don't take care of my health today I'm going to eat an ice cream. Tomorrow I'm going to eat a cake. The next day I'm going to eat something else. It's bad for my health, but it's not going to really have an effect. But if I carry that on for 10, 15 years, but I'm going to get a heart attack and just drop dead instantly.
Yeah.
So it just happens out of nowhere. So any bad habit that you have today, time accelerates it. So you have to find ways to actually change that now. Otherwise, as you said, bro, the tide's going to rise, you're going to drown.
All this is in the context of don't make the dunya your primary objective. The deen is your primary objective. We're just saying this is an avenue to help you get to
it. But is that not the whole thesis behind the Righteous Rich podcast and what we're doing now? Which is that, bruv, the whole reason, wallahi, the whole reason. Can I tell you, I actually got to a point in my life where may Allah Azza wa Jal keep me truthful and keep me sincere and make me not one who's trying to show off right now. But I got to a point where I found a level of comfortability in terms of the income that I was receiving that I said, I now no longer want wealth. I don't, there's nothing man's working for dunya-wise. But then there's things I need to do. There's da'wah, there's seeking knowledge, there's building masajid and other things that requires money. So I have to now, after I take care of my family, carry on working to be able to do that. The whole point here is the akhirah. Do you understand? Like that's the leading thing in the first place. So yeah, man, wallahi, man, it's sad, man. Like, it's sad. There's that.
My question to the brothers, because people will watch this and they'll think about it and they'll be like, why me, right? Like, why do I have to do it? Or why am I going to be the one to make it? My question is very simple. Why not you, right? people who you don't respect, people who you don't even like, you don't even think twice about, they work harder than you. I know that sounds deep. I mean, like Indian scammers in call centers, bro. They're more successful than you, and it's not even because of the stuff that they're doing is righteous or good or whatever. It's just because they're trying, they're doing something. Obviously, it's a bad pathway, but at least they're doing something, right? So I'm saying, and you know, my dad said this to me, right? I was my dad was here with me in Dubai. It was 2022. And we were going to a petrol station, and here in the UAE, also maybe in other places as well, people work in the petrol station and they fill up your car, right? They fill up the car for you. Just tell them what it is and they'll fill up. And he was a young guy, Pakistani guy. I think his name was Arman or something like that. And he looked roughly probably the same age as me, maybe even younger than me. And my dad asked me, he was like, "Why are you here and he's there?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I should have thought about it before I said I don't know, but he caught me and he was like, "He's there and you're here because Allah put him there and Allah put you here, right? So what you have to do is work as hard as you can, as hard as he's working. His situation is dire and difficult, and he's still out in the petrol station filling up people's cars because he has to feed his family." And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely hit me. And then when I got to thinking about it after that, I was thinking, I'm third generation Pakistani immigrant family, right? So somebody in my lineage, if it's not my dad or my dad's dad or somebody else like that, they had to leave their homeland for the purpose of taking care of my family for something better, right? Now, whether or not the UK was a better option or whatever, the point is you come from a lineage of people they were triers. They were the people who were willing to grind. And now you're going to be the one to let them down. It's going to be you who puts the end into that. Do you see what I mean? As in, like, you're going to be the last one who's like, you know what? They did it, so I don't have to. Nah, bro, you're going to have to do it so the next guys, like, as in they won't have to, as in they'll do it as well. But as in you pass down the torch of effort in that sense.
That's actually very profound because you might be able to get by with the benefits that you're receiving today.
Yeah.
But if you're living in this environment and you're bringing up your children to have this mentality and this mindset, they might not be able to survive on that. But this is what you've taught them. And remember, your actions speak a lot louder than your words.
Yeah.
You're telling each other, I want you to be a doctor. But Dad, you say, benefits. Like, I don't see that same graph, that same drive, that same energy from you.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why, even like, one of the reasons, for the guys that might be hearing some weird sounds in the background. I mean, one of the reasons why you're hearing those sounds is because I want to bring my son up around similar-minded individuals. I want him to see his dad working. I want him to see, because bro, like, at the end of the day, that mentality, they see it from you. Saying to them is one thing, but you have to see your father, how he worked, and you will learn a lot from that.
No, that's true. Like,
big time. 100%. So now the question comes to the solution. How do we fix this mindset problem? We've established it's a mindset problem.
Definitely. It's not a circumstance.
It's not a circumstance problem.
Yeah, 100%.
No, it's not necessarily just a mindset. Like, sometimes like it's laziness, it's cheating. Sometimes
that's mindset.
No.
Laziness is mindset.
No.
Yes.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like cheat. Some people cheat the system. There's brothers I know that actually have businesses. That actually have businesses that are making money, and they'd get by.
I would say that's mindset as well.
That's cheating.
You got the wrong mindset.
Well, I mean, I guess then everything come back down to mindset. But then I guess you got to break it up into.
So how do you come with the right mindset? How do you, number one, destroy your old mindset and start building a new one?
You know, one thing actually is to live in the.
Be brutally honest. Don't hold back.
Yeah. No.
No sugarcoating.
Yeah. No. It's just. If you don't have the people, look, Abbas sent something in his Abbas's notice board the other day that really actually blew my mind. There was a message from his father.
Oh yeah.
And this shows the importance of having people around you that are going to be encouraging you. Like the way you've got young man here, little man here. Even though he's not clocking this right now, but this is having an effect on him. Do you understand? And if you consistently do this, he's going to be brought up in this environment. So go on, read.
So basically, I made a video, right? And in the video, I was talking about how I feel like I have...
We'll play the video.
Yeah, I'll play it for sure. Basically, what I was saying is that I feel like I have boundless optimism. Like, I feel like I can basically do anything, right? And I clocked recently why that's the case. It's because of my actual dad. So when I was a kid, I would say to my dad, "Dad, I want to be this," or "Dad, I want to be that." Or my dad would line up me and my siblings. He would literally line us up together, and he'll be like, "What do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want to be?" And he wouldn't accept it if the dream was low. Like, it had to be like a big dream, right? So and in the video, I said I could message my dad right now, and I could say to him, "Dad, I want to be a Formula 1 driver," and he's gonna say, "Of course you can," right? So I messaged him. So I said, Dad, I want to be a Formula 1 driver. And then he didn't reply to me. So I messaged him later and I was like, do you think I can achieve this? And he said, son, 100%. With the grace of Allah, anything is possible. Mount Everest is smaller than you. May Allah bless you.
But then look at what Abbas said after that. Look at Abbas's ta'liq.
Yeah, I was like, even if you don't have a father figure, you can find people like this in your life. These are the people you need to keep the closest. They're your biggest fans. They show up to every game. They sit at the front row. They come with a foam finger, you know, the number one. Yeah. They camp outside to make sure that when the curtains go up, they get the best view. You deserve to have people like this in your life. You should definitely seek them out. It doesn't have to be your own dad. It could be somebody else. It could be your uncle. The point is you need someone like need someone like that. They're gonna put the wind in yourself. You know, I had people criticize me for this. They were saying, "Oh, but your dad's not realistic. Could you realistically become a Formula 1 driver?" And I was like, "Bruv, he doesn't have to be. The world is gonna teach me anyway." Do you understand? My dad's supposed to tell me you can do it. You get it?
Yeah,
he's supposed to tell me you're gonna do it.
It's supposed to remove empowering, limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. I told you, I said to you when I was 19, I went to the Job Seekers Allance, right?
Yeah.
I went there one time and I couldn't ever go back again because I was like, bruv, this is long and I'm doing my own thing, right? Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Allah just placed that self-respect in me. Obviously, I was raised in a certain context, certain environment where I knew that this was something that, with the permission of Allah, was just beneath me. But it wasn't just what I saw in my household from my father and what I heard about my ancestors and the way that they were and the way they used to work hard and grind. Like even my sheikh, I remember when it really hit me, bro, that this wealth and issue is bad. This welfare issue is bad. Our sheikh, who we saw him struggle. We saw him struggle. I remember his wife, he used to mention the way she would ration slices of bread just to make sure the kids would have food to eat. In the UK, the way when they would go shopping, he mentioned that she'd go to Lidl and then go and find and compare the same prices in Aldi, right? The same item, and just find like the cheapest to the pennies because of how poor they were, right? Whilst he was seeking knowledge and striving and finding ways to make ends meet for his family and not just seeking knowledge without working as well, right? I remember he says something, and you know when it comes from a man like that, bro, it touches you because he himself could have been the first to be doing this. He said, for a man with a beard, trousers above his ankles in a thobe, with his wife wearing a niqab, to walk into the job seeker center and to be signing away for some kafir to give them what? Just a little bit of change.
That's the perception that they have. All these Muslims coming into our country and taking benefits. He
said that is such a sickening image. It came from him.
Yeah, you're right.
So I was like, what? So now, alhamdulillah, now I have a man who's outside my family who's reinforcing these principles in me. And not only that, when you study the seerah of the Prophet and you see how the Prophet was, the Prophet, a person would bring him a gift and he would say, is this charity or is this a gift? Because the Prophet was what? Was rich. Yeah. Allah gave him richness, like he had barakah, right? But there were times when he struggled. It was times when he really struggled, right? Okay, cool. Akhi, when someone would bring the Prophet something, the Prophet would ask, is this a gift or is this charity? If it's what? It's charity, me and my family, we don't take it. The Prophet's family was forbidden from taking charity. Akhi, look at that!
Yeah.
No, don't take handouts. The Prophet then himself would say what? He would teach his companions, it's better for you to go and what? Collect firewood for a whole day than to take charity from people. People ask, why did the Prophet say collect firewood?
Oh, you know, I was literally just about to ask that.
Because it's one of in the Arabian desert where it's a barren land and there's not even trees.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna find logs
it's not like a forest, yeah.
It is hard.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where are you gonna find branches from in a barren land? Okay, some places have some what? Have some trees, Medina, what? But generally speaking, it's not a place where you can find firewood easily. This is one of the hardest jobs that a man could have. It's better for you to do that than to go out. Do you understand? Yeah, so that's one thing. But there's a lot, but I'm sure you guys have some contributions.
I'm saying that you shouldn't be satisfied.
So just to make so what I'm saying is have people around you. If you're raised in that environment, if you're not raised in that environment, go and seek out those people. If you can't seek them out in real life, you find them in the books. You find them in the seerah of the Prophet, you find them in the seerah of the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. You find them there. What else, Bakr?
You want to say something?
I can't remember now.
Go for it.
I'll say we went through Operation Confidence. We went through Roman. And like I said, it just highlighted, whether it's childhood trauma, not having a father figure, as you mentioned, who was pushing you up and whatnot. But one thing you need to realize, you're here, you are where you are now, and there's no one coming to save you.
Yeah.
There's no one coming to save you. No one's gonna come on a on a golden chariot and take you out of your situation.
Yeah.
Only with the tawfiq of Allah and your own actions, and you have to be the one to put that in.
Yeah.
You can't rely on other people now. You can't say, okay, cool. If you had it, you had it when you were growing up. Amazing. That will benefit you. If you didn't have it, you didn't have it. But bro, I didn't have it.
Yeah.
And you can still, you can still come out of it.
Yeah, you can be that person.
But you just have to have that mindset of, I'm not gonna let myself become a victim.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let myself become a victim. There's never gonna come a day where I'm gonna whatever has to happen in order to make it work, I will make it work. And if you have, of course, with the tawfiq of Allah, and if you have that mindset, well, as you said, there's nothing that you can't do, man. But you just have to ignite that fire. I don't know, maybe that fire's gone. It's been put out for a long time. You need to collect that firewood. You need to light that fire.
Wouldn't that fire come from aqeedah? Like the Prophet
tawakkul is a big part.
Right, tawakkul, right? Because the Prophet did he not say, لو أنكم توكلون على الله حق توكله لرزقكم كما ترزق الطير كما يرزق الطير أو كما قال تغدو خماص وتروح بطانه كما قال. If you relied upon Allah, the way that Allah Azza wa Jal deserved for you to rely upon Him, you would be provided for just like how He provides for the bird. It leaves every morning with an empty stomach and it comes back full with food for itself. It also comes back with food for its little chicks, right?
Allah doesn't burden a soul with more than it can bear.
Oh. So I'm saying is that if you went out, you'd come back with something. But the fact that you're not going out, is it because you don't have that thiqah billah? You don't have that
honestly,
trust in Allah?
there's a very good chance. Yeah, that's certainly one of the reasons.
Because my thing is,
because at the bottom, at the pits of it, there's a belief there that I won't make it. It's not going to happen, right? And I'm saying that has to be inverted. You have to believe the opposite. It's going to happen for me.
I honestly believe.
If not you, then who?
Yeah, well, like you have to. I read there was a book that I read when I started practicing. It's called Awaken the Giant Within, right? Okay. And again, these books by these kuffar, they have some batil in there, but it was something deep that the guy said. He talked about primary pleasures and secondary pleasures and primary pain and secondary pain. It was like when you want to achieve a goal and you procrastinate, right, and you don't actually go out there and achieve that goal, it's because there is a primary pain and a secondary pain. Like the primary pain, if you're fat, is that you're what? You're fat, right? People don't want to marry you maybe because you are out of shape, or you're less attractive to the type of girl that you want to marry. You know, you've got health issues, whatever have you. But then there's a secondary pain as well, which is what? Which is sorry. Pleasures. So if you're fat and you're unhealthy, there's primary pleasures and there's secondary pleasures, right? So the primary pleasure is you want to be in shape so you can get the girl that you want to marry, to say yes to you in a halal environment, so you can be healthy and whatnot, and so on and so forth. You can raise your kid and run with them and not have another man running with your kids, right? But then there's a secondary pleasure, which is the cake.
Yeah. It
tastes very, very, very nice. It tastes very what? Very sweet. All you have to do is you have to eradicate those pleasures, because those pleasures, the secondary pleasures, they work as like tranquilizers. They sedate you. Like it's enough to keep you going, right? Like the short-term dopamine high that you get, the dopamine hit that you get from that time that you spend on your social media, that's keeping you away from being productive in your task, or the time that you spend playing games, which you know you should be spending doing something else, is sedating you. It's numbing you, it's drugging you and making you survive those incremental moments, but in the long term it's actually taking you further away from your goal, right?
They call that the pit of mediocrity. Like it's not bad enough for you to take action, and it's not good enough for you to be happy, so you just sort of live it. So
you know what you have to do? You have to dash yourself in the deep end.
Yeah.
Like I honestly believe, like some people used to say, and I don't give this advice anymore because I realize not all 5 things are the same, right? But I used to tell people, just drop your job, just leave uni. Now I still believe that totally, but I believe it for me. I believe it for me. Yeah, I believe it for me. Yeah, I believe it for me because I hold myself to a higher standard. I know with the permission of Allah that if I today cut all little cords that I have that are holding me up right now,
you have to do it.
Allah place a net beneath me that will catch me. But you have to dash yourself in the deep end today. You have to say, you know what? These little things that are pacifying me, this little accommodation that's giving me this what? This secondary pleasure that's sedating me, that's keeping me going, is actually keeping me what? Keeping me from from feeling that I'm in a state of desperation and I need to work hard now, today. Because wallahi, if I told you that today you're homeless and you got no money in your bank account, wallahi, by the end of the night, you will find a place for your family to stay and food on their plate with the pressure of Allah. You'll find it. Because it's like the same when someone puts a gun to your head, you'll make it happen. You'll make it happen, right?
To conclude, one thing I was thinking, wallah, just the more we went through this, I realized how much the brothers will benefit from the free on free women program. I also don't want to come across I was just trying to make money off of this. So I was thinking, first I came to my because we're selling it for £400 right now on the website. I was thinking, give it half price, and I realized even £200 is a lot for some people. Like, depending on your mindset, it can be a lot. But you know, now that they give that feature where you can just, people can choose how much they want to pay for it. Just have a link at the bottom. Go for operations confidence, operation allegiance with Allah, build your tawakkul in Allah, build yourself as a man.
You know, I was actually gonna say give it for free.
No, but I like the idea of having some kind of commitment from you.
Right, that's what I was gonna
and
say.
You decide on the value.
Yeah.
And truth be told,
you choose what you want to pay for it.
Yeah, I've done this enough in the past to give people free access to Knowledge College, free access to this, free access to Sunnah Match. And you know what, bro?
They never appreciate it.
Never appreciate it.
And
the higher you pay for it,
they don't even use it.
The higher you pay for it, the more it's going to... But this isn't like some reverse psychology trick or anything. Yeah. But the higher you pay for it, the more it shows you're investing in yourself. And you're going to take it seriously.
No, it's about sacrifice. How much you're willing to sacrifice is how much you're willing to sacrifice.
If you're going to put in £2, no problem. Bro, you can take it for £2.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if a week down the line you drop it, because bro, for you this is just a £2 thing.
Yeah,
we'll have that description.
I would like to just say that if you're not going to do it for you, find someone to do it for.
Yeah, whether it's your children, your family, your wife, your parents.
Your unborn children. You don't even have kids yet. Your unborn children. Do it for them.
Do you know the only thing
that's our stories about
more
you, bro.
depressing than having a bad self story that you tell yourself is the story that your wife tells herself about you. Oh.
Trying to depress the brothers today.
And I'm just keeping it real, like, just as in, she might not say, but just, and don't even have this conversation with her, and don't send her this podcast.
Yeah.
But like, just deep it for a second. She knows her husband's a bum.
Oh, that is rape. That is so rape. That is so rape. I don't even know. You know what? Let's stop. Let's stop.
But the fact that hasn't motivated them up until now, like, bro, like, as in.
No, but honestly,
they've reached levels of bum.
There's people who are watching this. For them, this is the first time they're thinking about it.
They just clicked.
They didn't even think about it before Imran said it. Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
My wife hasn't said anything.
She's not blind.
She thinks.
Bro, it's like, bro, not just that.
By the way, it's just if your husband's struggling and he's genuinely trying, that's a different story. Yeah. That's praiseworthy. He's got the drive, he's got the passion, he's trying to change the situation.
I think
he's sitting there playing video games.
At the beginning, yeah.
We're not talking about. We need to end.
We're not talking about people who are trying and failing. Trying and failing, you will get my support limitlessly. Okay, my issue is with the people who are not trying. That's it. Trying and failing.
You agree with that?
You'll get me.
Yeah, I do. I just want to mention that.
No, I saw that.
No.
Yeah, he said if you try and fail, you still get my support.
Yeah, you still get my support. But every day you're trying more.
Yeah, keep trying.
As in the input,
in the effort.
Yeah. Listen,
MashaAllah.
Can I say something?
Very quickly, I don't want to violate.
I know it is. But I just want to mention a hadith. The Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned, if you knew the day of judgment tomorrow and you have a seed in your hand, plant it. If the day of judgment, the horn was going to be blown tomorrow and you knew, but you had a seed in your hand, plant it.
There's so much to unpack.
Yeah, get to work, bro.
We could spend years talking about that.
With that said, anything that we said that was right was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything that we said that was wrong from ourselves and shaitan.
Huh? Allah and His Messenger.
Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. See you in the next episode.